The mystery at the Miller's house. Tom, the delivery man, was finishing his morning reports when he stopped in front of the Miller's house with a dress and two suits. As he got out of the truck, he noticed the front wheels were parked on a garden hose that ran from a water outlet by the garage to the backyard. He got back in the truck and moved it forward a few feet, so the engine ended up inside the Miller's empty garage. That's when he noticed the door between the garage and the kitchen was open. Inside, he saw Mrs. Miller lying on the floor near the stove. Tom rushed inside to help her. He says he was trying to revive her when Mr. Miller walked in from the backyard through the open garage door. Mr. Miller had taken the day off to water his garden. He had been watering the flower beds and hedges for about half an hour when he saw Tom's truck in the garage and went to investigate. "We can't get Mr. Miller to clearly say whether he thinks Tom was trying to revive his wife or harm her," said the inspector. "No wonder the lie detector test didn't catch Tom," said Detective Hale. "Why not?" "Because Tom was telling the truth." "How did he know that?" Detective Hale deduced that Mr. Miller had been choking his wife but was surprised by Tom's arrival. He quickly ran to the backyard to pretend he had been watering the garden. If Mr. Miller had been outside the whole time, he would have noticed when the water stopped flowing. Remember? The truck wheels were parked on the garden hose for about 2 minutes. Next mystery. The mystery in Pinewood. Driving through Pinewood, Dr. Blake decided to visit his old friend, Jack Turner. When he arrived at Jack's house, he was shocked to hear that Jack had been found hanging in his attic just 3 days earlier. "Jack was in great shape and seemed happy when I talked to him last month," Dr. Blake told the sheriff. "I can't believe he would take his own life." "He did. I handled the case myself," the sheriff replied. "Here's what happened. Jack's housekeeper, Tom Harris, was coming home late that night when he saw a light on in the attic. As he got out of his car, he noticed Jack through the open attic window. Jack was tying a rope around his neck, with the other end attached to a beam. Then Jack kicked a small stool out from under himself, and that was it. Tom tried to get inside the house, but all the doors were locked. He realized he had forgotten his keys, so he ran to the neighbor's house and called me. He told me exactly what I just told you. When I got to Jack's house, I had to force the front door open. Tom and I ran up 3 flights of stairs to the attic. By then, Jack was already dead. The coroner confirmed it was death by hanging. The attic was empty except for an overturned stool by the door and a broken clay jug that must have been knocked over when the stool fell," the sheriff concluded. "I'd like to take another look at the house," Dr. Blake said. "Based on Tom's story, he's lying." How did Dr. Blake know? Tom Harris claimed he saw Jack Turner kick the stool from under himself. But standing on the ground, Tom could never have seen a small stool through an attic window 3 stories up.